one is the city auditor quarterly update, and then the second one is the open records compliance report. I believe Ms. Lindo has sent those out as part of the packet, the presentation information already. Are there any questions or anything any of my colleagues on the committee need for regarding that matter? Okay, I'll keep moving on. Next, communications. We have one communications from the mayor, and this is appointing Mr. Majumdar as the Chief Procurement Officer. Just wanted to share with everybody that I have spoken with the administration. They are working through scheduling introduction meetings with council members. So hopefully we'll get those on the calendar and then be able to move this on Wednesday. Any questions or comments for this communication? Okay, I'll keep moving on. We have a couple of items for first read, which we will bring in and then dispense with during the next subsequent meeting after recess. Regular agenda ordinance or second reading. The first one, 22-01528. This is Office of Cultural Affairs for Elevate Atlanta. Who from the administration will be presenting this paper?
Good morning, everyone. This is Monica Pro, the Deputy Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs.
All right.
Good afternoon, Councilmember Juan.
Good afternoon. So I would just ask, it may already be in the legislation, but just one piece of information is the funding source for this. I'm not sure if this is a revenue in, revenue out paper, but if you could speak to that on Wednesday, that'd be great.
This is for general fund expenses where we want to contract with artists and accept sponsorship for Elevate. Okay,
so is this, I mean, I guess, is this not, this is being funded by the general fund, the request at least?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. Just make that clarification on Wednesday, please.
Will do. Great.
All right, other questions or information from my colleagues on this paper? All right, next item, 22-01529. This is an airport paper for Jones Lang LaSalle. Who from the department will be presenting on this one?
Mr. Chairman, it's Michael Smith. Mr. Biodari will be here on Wednesday to present this paper.
Hey, Mike, I just jumped on. Good morning, Mr. Chair. How are you and everybody else?
Good, there you are. I see. So you'll be presenting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Colleagues, any questions or requests for information on this paper? No. Okay. Yeah, that looks complete. All right, item number 6, 22-01530. This is to amend the FY22 Perry Bolton tax allocation district budget for the fire station. Who will be presenting this paper?
I will be Fadim Remy Santil.
All right, Mr. Santil, one question I do have on this one is the Perry Bolton. I know this may be a finance question, but the funds status on this. I believe this TAD should be pretty much complete. So I don't know if this is kind of one of those final actions, final projects, but that'll be a question I'll have on this for Wednesday.
And your question is what again? I'm sorry.
So regarding, I was under the impression that Perry Bolton is substantially completed in terms of the TAD. So I don't know if this is like the final big project on what the funds balance and the TAD accounts would be after this. So that may be a fine. So.
Yeah.
We'll be prepared for that, Councilman.
Thank you, CFO Balan. Any other questions or requests from my colleagues? Okay, we'll keep moving on. Item 7, 22-01531. This is Tyler, I believe. Yep. Amendment number 3 for the cash management system agreement, Tyler Technologies. Questions from my colleagues on the, or requests from my colleagues on this paper? And who will be presenting on this one? CFO Bala, or is this going to be Deputy CFO?
Finance will be Lawrence Davis. Revenue Chief will be presenting.
Okay, thank you. Questions or requests? All right, item number 8, 22-01533. This is Department of Transportation to Atlanta Services Group 3 for work at Moreland Avenue intersection. Questions or comments or requests for this one? Who will be presenting? Sorry, I should have asked that. Would that be Department of Transportation? Anyone?
Mr. Chair, I'll reach out to our Atlanta Department of Transportation to ensure that someone is speak to this.
Thank you, Mr. Pace. All right, item number 9. Actually, there's a series of them. Number 9, 22-01547, Mr. Hillis contribution paper. Number 10, 22-01553, Mr. Lewis's. Then number 12, 22-01558, Mr. Westmoreland, as well as 22-01559, Mr. Westmoreland, 22-01560, Mr. Westmoreland. And okay, and jumping to 18, 22-01567, Councilmember Boone, distribution 22-01568, Councilmember Overstreet, and 22-01569, Councilmember Waits. These are all contribution or distribution papers. Pretty straightforward. Any questions or requests from my colleagues on those? We'll likely take those as a block just for efficiency, but any questions or comments? Okay. Takes us to item 11, 22-01554. This is a series of council members renaming one of the committee room 1 in honor of Larry M. Dingle. I understand that this one, the MPU-M does not meet until July 25th, which is fine because we're on recess and won't reconvene until the 1st. So we'll likely, depending on the appetite of the committee, one of the options will be to move it on forward on condition of that meeting that MPU requirement. But any questions or requests for information on this paper? All right. Okay, that takes us to item number 15, 22-01561. It's my paper. It's the $4 million of general obligation bonds. CFO Ballo, will you be speaking to this one?
Yes, I'll be speaking to that.
All right, real quick question for you. Is there typically a project list associated with this in advance, or is that done after?
Not necessarily for the baby bond transactions, therefore, general purposes historically, unless there was a specific earmark for a substantial portion of the bond. And we did that when we did the EMS fire station baby bond, which was all allocated to one project. But we do have some guidance from Dean on the expected use of this proceeds, and we'll be happy to share that on Wednesday.
Yep, that'd be helpful just to share with the committee, if you will. Okay,
Absolutely.
Thank you. Other questions or requests from my colleagues on this paper?
Mr. CFO, we got a number of projects associated with some of this here that we'll provide for you to share with the chair and the committee.
Okay, now are you talking about the next one?
No, I'm talking number 16.
Yeah, okay, so we were on 15 right now, that's okay.
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
No, that's okay, but you're up next. So if there are no other questions on number 15, let's go ahead and move to 16, 22-01562. This is Mr. Amos's paper. These are bonds for the airport. And you said, B, you'll be presenting this one for the department?
The CFO will be presenting this.
Okay.
Right.
All right. And there is some projects associated with this that can be shared as well?
Yeah, so this is already the closed transaction. This is the anticipation appropriation of that
Gotcha.
Airport revenue bond transaction. And that list is already out in the public domain.
Yeah, easy enough. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Any other questions or requests on this one? Okay, number 17, 22-01563, Mr. Amos's paper, unspent. Oh, this is a donation that is coming back to the District 3 carry forward. Any questions on this one? All right, it's always good to get money back. All right, 18, 19, 20, we've already talked about, so it takes us to resolutions. The first one is Mr. Bond's paper regarding airport owner-controlled insurance program. Who will be speaking to this? Is this risk management or is this the airport?
Finance will be speaking to that. Jerry DeLoach.
Okay.
If he's in, we'll be speaking to it.
Okay. And yeah, I don't know that I've seen, I know what the owner controlled insurance program is. So if for capital construction, so if someone can just explain that to us on Wednesday, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
All right. Other questions or requests from my colleagues? Okay. Item 22-R4017, task order, small contracting services with SoCo Contracting, and also 22-R4018. This is another one with SoCo. This is some artwork. Who will be presenting this one? Is this ADOT?
Dean will be presenting this one.
Okay. Is that Mr. Santiel? Voice?
Yes, that's me. I'm sorry.
So I do have a question about this. The Renew Atlanta Public Art Program. Can someone provide kind of an update or balance on that?
Yes, Samara will be on as well, attending as well. We will present the actual construction project. And if you have any other updates on the program itself, she'll be present to provide that information as well.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure that there'll be folks that want to know. Okay. All right. Item 24, 22-R4019, amendment number 2 for green infrastructure and landscape services. Is this Deem paper?
Yep.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Any questions or requests for this paper? Okay. All right. So dual referred, we've got a number of them. We'll see what happens in the committees that convene before us to see if they get lobbed over to us. All right, are there any held papers that need to get moved forward that anyone's aware of? Okay, yeah, I did hear from Councilmember Waits. I wanted to acknowledge that her Walk of Fame paper, she wants to continue holding that. But other than that, I don't believe any other papers are ready to come off unless any of the departments will signal now that they should. Okay.
Councilmember One, item number 38 should be ready and substituted by Wednesday.
Okay, so that's 22-01504. This is payment to the gallery collection. So substitute and ready. All right, Mr. CFO Bala, you were going to say something?
Yeah, on item number 2, you had asked about the funding source for that, and it's a trust fund for public arts that is paying for that initiative.
Okay, is that the Elevate projects? Is that what you're going back to?
Correct.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, other items on the agenda or anything for the good of the order before we adjourn? Okay, just as a reminder, Councilmember Shook is going to open the meeting, and then I will join as soon as I can once I arrive back to City Hall. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll see everybody Wednesday at 1:30. Thank you. Have a great Monday.
Thank you.